Welcome back, Mustangs. I'm Jack McFadden and this is Jesse Mumm. Today is December 16th and we're very excited to show you another Blue View broadcast.
We begin with an interview with Millard's Superintendent Dr. Sutfin himself, and then we talk to the girls varsity basketball team about their upcoming season. After that, we take a look at high school expectations versus realities, and finally, we go around Millard North testing out students and faculty's knowledge on holiday music.
Our first story is an exclusive interview with Superintendent Dr. Sutton, where he gives us an inside look into Millard's inclement weather policies.
Hey Mustangs, this is Jesse Mumm for the Blue View. As winter weather approaches, we've decided we want to find out more information regarding everything snow day related. I have Millard's Superintendent Dr. Sutton here today to talk about snow day procedures, including e-learning and the new late start policies. Welcome to Millard North, Dr. Sutphin. Can you outline the new Millard Snow Day options?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate the opportunity to share our story. So we actually have 3 options that we have in our toolkit now. The first is we have a new one, which is the 2-hour late start. So last year during winter, if you followed along, there were days where we didn't go to school, but by 9:30, 10 o'clock, the roads were fine. Typically those are the times after you have a snow event and it's that next day. So we have a lot of young drivers, right? A lot of high school kids that drive to school. We have buses, lots of little tiny elementary kids. And we felt like if we would just pause and let rush hour traffic pass, let the sun come up, give the street crews an opportunity to finish up, as well as our crews around our school district, that would be an option we would have so we wouldn't have to cancel the full day of school.
All right. And then what would dictate a late start versus an e-learning day versus a snow day?
Oh, very good. So, great question. In fact, I'm going to take my glasses off for this part, right? So, let's start with e-learning. In my mind, the preference will always be to go e-learning. That would be step 1. We have been able to provide a device to every middle school and high school students. In fact, we're going to be 1-to-1 all the way down to 3rd grade. So to be able to have those devices means we're creating a situation of anytime, anywhere learning, which means that you don't have to necessarily be at Millard North in order to participating in a learning activity, and you get to stay in a warm house. You get to be, big old thick wool socks, avoid the winter icky out there, and get a day of instruction. Now here's the trade-off. We don't make that day up, right? We make up all of our snow days, but if it's an e-learning day, we don't make that day up. So our goal is to get out before Memorial Day. Want me to keep going?
Yeah, so then what would dictate like an e-learning day?
Okay, so the e-learning...
then like a late start.
A late start. So a late start day, in my mind, always is kind of that day after the storm. Mm-hmm. Are the roads clear? Are we able to get students in safely by just simply pausing and waiting? And I think that is a tool. I don't know if we'll use it or not. I don't know how the storms will come in, right? Yeah. But again, we get to count that as a full day of instruction. And when we get to count that as a day of instruction, we don't make up that day either. And we keep the continuity of learning going. Mm-hmm. And then you want me to tell you about the let's just cancel school? Yeah. Okay. So we have minimum number of hours that we have to meet. And if we got into a troubled spot because we had too many late starts or we had too many e-learning days, then we would probably have to add on to the end of the year, which would mean we would just cancel school and then come back at a different time. That's my least favorite of all the options.
So we've never had late starts as an option in the past. What changed this year?
Well, I can tell you how it happened. I was in a meeting in California, and I was standing in the hallway canceling school. And standing next to me was the superintendent in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Same storm, same event, and he was putting a 2-hour late start in, and we were having a canceled day of school. So I stopped and talked to him about it, and I said, tell me about this 2-hour late start. Their school district, by the way, is the same size of ours. And he said, you know what? He said, we had 7 late starts this year and only 1 cancellation. We had 6 cancellations last year. So it just was an opportunity to add a tool to our toolkit, another option besides canceling school and disrupting the learning. Here's an interesting fact for you and for all of Mustang Nation. Last year when we came back from winter break, we did not go to school for a full week until the week before spring break. because of breaks that were already in the calendar and all of the inclement weather days. And it was hard. It was start, stop, start, stop. This test is moved, this one's not, this one, and it became hard to get everybody to kind of gear up each time. And that continuity of learning, there's something to be said for it's go time. And let's just keep going. And with digital tools and a 2-hour late start, we can just keep going.
And then going on to talk about e-learning days, what are some expectations for both teachers and students on those days?
Yeah, so it's a day of learning, right? So if you, let's talk about teachers first, right? Every teacher has an opportunity to provide work for students in an e-learning day. And we want them to do that. We want them to be consistent with their instruction so that students have an opportunity to learn. So teachers are expected to post an assignment or an activity, or it may be a flipped classroom situation so that students can learn. We also don't want to ruin the entire snow day, right? I mean, there is something to be said, and so we're kind of gearing that, that somewhere around 4 hours or so of work in a given snow day would be an appropriate amount and still give students an opportunity to do what they need to do and to enjoy the fact that it's, let's face it, snow days are fun, right? And we don't want to take the fun away from there. For students, you're expected to do the work, right? As a high school student, as you leave Millard North, you are going to encounter many more opportunities of blended learning in your life. We don't always have to be in the school for learning to take place. And this is meant to be practice for you to get used to what it looks like to be a more independent learner. In fact, we have 3 blended classes right now at Millard North, and those students don't go to class on the days that like everybody else does, right? Their schedule looks differently. And we feel like we can do that with snow days and give everybody that experience.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to add?
There's 2 types of days in the winter. There are snow days and there are go days. And I really hope we have a lot of go days.
All right, I think that's all we have for today. Thank you for taking time to sit down with us and answer some questions, and best of luck this winter season.
Thank you very much. It's a great day to be a Mustang.
Our state champion girls varsity basketball team is starting their upcoming season. Listen as star players and head coach David Deal tell us how they're going to stay on top of their game.
Number one, you got to be your best every day. You got to embrace the grind. We talk about endurance. You don't just have endurance on the court, you have endurance in a season. It's hard to be focused every single day, every single play.
I think it'll go well this year. We won state last year, so I think we have a lot of experience under our belt. And I think if we really work hard, then we can win another one.
The 5 seniors we have this year will definitely all need to step up in scoring and take on bigger roles than some of us have had.
Last year we really depended on the 3 seniors last year, so we're all going to have to step up. We're all going to have to score more points than we've been averaging in the past.
You can't win every game unless you play every possession hard. You can't win every game unless you bring focus every day in practice. So those are our goals, day by day, one day at a time.
A goal this year is to win Metros because this group has never done it before, and obviously to get back to state and try to compete for a championship. Expectations are to win, nothing else. We're not losing this year.
Our bonding is really good this year, I think. Like, all of us are really close, so that'll help us a lot, like, on the court.
Another one of our goals is to definitely grow closer as a team, making sure we go through practice day in and day out and take no plays off, just to come together during games, during big games especially.
I just want us to keep building on the foundation we set. The kids are accountable to the standard of championship basketball, and I want to continue that. The girls know what it takes to win, and I don't want to come off that standard. They're hardworking. They know what it takes. So we have great kids in great spots, so I'm excited for the year.
Growing up, everyone was influenced by movies and TV shows, giving them an expectation of what high school would be like. The Blue View staff asks around to see what students' perspectives on high school really is.
To many incoming freshmen surprise, high school is not exactly the same as it's portrayed in the movies. The Blue View staff decided to go around Millard North and see what the students had to say about it.
The biggest difference between the high school and the movies and in reality is that the mean girls, they don't just walk around and everyone moves out of the way. They're just like everyone else, and it's really crowded.
Let's walk on 5. I'll take you high. I'll make your head feel better than the best. Yellow, painted gold.
The biggest difference is actors in the movie use their locker to change their books every period, and here everyone just carries their books in their backpacks.
I think that in high school movies, we see people are always athletics or they're always singing and dancing, and that's not a thing in regular high school because there's a lot more focus on academics and a lot more focus on social life, which we don't really see in the movies because people are always either singing and dancing or playing basketball.
I think the difference between high school, in movies and high school in reality, is low key, there's not as much drama as people make it out to be, and I feel like everyone, especially in our generation, kind of felt like high school was gonna be like High School Musical, but it just didn't end up being like that, and I was kind of disappointed when I came into high school and it just wasn't like that.
While not everyone's time in high school is like the movies, each of us create our own memorable experiences. This has been Haley Raya and Georgia Spicciarelli for the Millard North Blue View.
Now time for some holiday fun. Blue View staff member Sean Saxby goes on a holiday sing-along with Millard North students and faculty, testing out their holiday music knowledge.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas
holiday hop.
Party hop.
Party
You're
hop.
close.
Oh. So close.
I was thinking party.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a
wrench.
39. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but
Have a cup of cheer.
correct.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but
Have a cup of cheer.
yep.
You guys are
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the
Christmas party.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful. And since we no place to go,
let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
There we go. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah.
Correct.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and
2 eyes made out of coal.
Yep.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home.
From my house on Christmas Eve.
Correct. Frosty the Snowman was a happy, jolly soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and
coal for buttons.
2 eyes made out of coal.
Okay, coal.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from Our House Christmas Eve. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Thanks for watching, Mustangs. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Good luck this final season and have a happy and safe holiday. We'll see you all back next semester.